Hello everyone, this is Stephen Brewer, CPA. Today we're going to talk about the One Big Beautiful Bill, the Business Summary Edition. This bill was signed into law back on July 4th of 2025, and within the bill there are many different business provisions. So this presentation is just going to be a brief overview of what those items are. We will be doing individual videos in the near future on some of these items to talk about them in more detail. The first area that has a lot of change in it is depreciation. It's back, folks, 100% depreciation or bonus depreciation, which means that you will be able to write off 100% of the cost of items purchased in the year of purchase against your income. Now, that item must have a life of 20 years or less, and the write-off is mandatory. You are given the option, though, to elect out of the mandatory write-off, and when you do, then you take the standard depreciation life and method. Also, our old friend Section 179 write-off has been increased to $2.5 million starting on the tax years after 2024. We have a new expensing option this year called the new production property. If you have qualified production property, buildings basically, you will be able to write off up to 100% of the cost of those buildings in the year that the building goes into service. Those are for buildings that are placed in service after January 19th, 2025 and before January 1st, 2030. We also have a change in the research expense area. In the past, you had to capitalize those expenses and amortize them off over a certain period of time. Now you will be able to write off 100% of the cost in the year incurred, and you are given the option, if you are amortizing costs, to write off the remaining balance in the current year. Now we have some other items. First off, the interest expense deduction has been increased starting after 2025. If your business provides child care facilities for its employees, that has now been increased to the 45%, 50% area, and the list of expanded expenses has been increased in 2025. A big area of change that people will be concerned about is the threshold for filing forms NEC and 1099 MISCs. That has now been increased to $2,000 from the $600 threshold we had before, and that starts in 2026. Third-party issuers such as PayPal and Venmo will be required starting in 2025 to issue Form 1099-Ks to people who have $2,000 in transactions and 200 transactions in total. The qualified business income deduction has now been made permanent. It was set to expire at the end of 2025. And for specific service businesses, the deduction has actually been increased. The excluded gain on the sale of qualified small business stock for C Corporation has also been increased. If you are doing on-premises meal deductions for your employees, that has now been relaxed. And then the Opportunity Zone credit and the new market credits have now been made permanent. Those were set to expire at the end of 2025 also. If you have qualified farmland, you may be able to make an election on the sale of that and pay the taxes over a 4-year period. And then finally, if you have finance litigation proceeds, there's a new tax at 31.8% on those proceeds. So that's it for the summary of business editions now, and we'll be putting out our individual ones soon.